I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Grant with that jump shot's off. Long rebound run down by Hodges, and here's the King. That's a three.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And they give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards. He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Yep, I totally believe it. Good morning. Welcome to the Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning, coming to you live from Southern Indiana and pretty soon from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. What you all see, for those of you on the video feed, this is what my wife says is my spirit animal. It's a dragon, because I'm so protective of my family, as y'all saw on Friday. Excuse me. Getting it all together here. Stand by. And I dig it. Well, let me begin with an apology. Most of you may have seen my apology on Facebook, but I let myself go language-wise, and I really was at a point where I didn't care what I said or how I said it. Well, that's when the missus kind of yanked me inside and said, "Mister, you can't do this." And she's right. I can't keep using the 7 dirty words, which I normally don't use on the air, but this past month, I said the heck with it. Even that word. I said the heck with it, and I let my opinions flow with all those bad words in it. And I want to apologize to you, the fans, for it. It is unacceptable. It's really not who I am in terms of sports talk. And yeah, I have a podcast called Snowman Unfiltered, but I cannot bring that to this morning show, especially when I have big plans of making this the most popular morning sports show ever, part 1, and part 2, bringing in a bunch of money and a bunch of sponsors. So this is not starting over for me. This is doing it right. This is absolutely doing it right. So again, I apologize to you, the fans, to the potential sponsors and potential donors of this show. When I started this, I wanted to make this show fun, and I still want to make this show fun, but also I wanted to keep it clean. That was like a rule of mine when I started in 2013. You know, wife kept saying, "Think FCC, think FCC, think FCC," and she's spot on right. I gotta think FCC. As you may have noticed, I've moved to another part of the office, and there's a space behind me. A green screen is going to go back there. So I'm going to have a whole lot of fun with it. And I hope to get that up today and have everything done, set, and in motion when I come back from the hospital. This is my final week on the air. before my partner, who is here with me right now, Cole Johnson, takes the chair for the following week. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and the word of the day is commerciality.
For me, the word of the day is wisdom, because my wife and my daughter hit me with a whole lot of it over the weekend. And she did it in such a way where I was just grinning from ear to ear. Mm-hmm. And she basically told me $2 billion a year should be minus the bad words, especially when we start our station. Mm-hmm. I said, babe, well, while you put that so succinctly, I have no choice but to obey it. So I've made my apologies. Let's get into the fun. Hey, Irvingologists, I have a question for you. How's that big fat L feel in your own house?
So that was a wonderful
with Kyrie Irving.
So that was a wonderful homecoming for Kyrie yesterday. The first game he played in Brooklyn this year.
Mm-hmm. And why was it wonderful? Because Charlotte wiped out a double-digit deficit and won going away.
Oh, Lord. I smell a theme.
Mm-hmm. And it's a theme you and I have talked about all year. And we said the day he plays home games, we would have realized the Nets organization, the NBA, would have capitulated to him. Well, guess what happened? They capitulated to him. Mm-hmm. And my question is why? Why did Steve Nash, and yes, I'm putting part of the blame on Steve Nash because he's the head coach. He's the one that he's so embroiled in this, it's not funny. And I'm also going to say, and you've heard me say it before, by no fault of his is he embroiled in this mess. By no fault of his.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Nash did not know that he was going to be a part of a circus.
I mean, 7 seconds or less is different when he's flying up the floor like Kevin Johnson and distributing the ball at will. That ain't a circus. That's basketball.
Right.
What we have in Brooklyn and in Los Angeles is worse than a circus. What's up, Sick Diggy? Good morning to you. It's worse than a circus. And when I saw the Hornets had come back from, I think it was 15 down and led by 4 at the end of 3, I laughed hysterically. Period. I laughed hysterically.
So I guess when people, when they still say that the Nets are the favorites in Las Vegas to win it all, they must have forgotten one key factor, and that is, do the Nets play any sort of defense?
May I answer that question, Professor Cole?
Sure. So, go ahead, sir.
Not a chance.
And look, you've seen just as much basketball as I have. You can be the most offensively solvent team in the league. You can execute your butt off on the offensive end, but if you don't get those key stops on the defensive end, what good is it? Because you can score all the points you want, championships don't follow. I'm looking at you, Mike D'Antoni. It's just it's a key ingredient that teams need. Yet these offenses that have this firepower, and they think, well, we'll just outscore teams. They're learning that teams that aren't even elite can beat them almost by double digits.
Yep.
Because all they got to do is just execute on the offensive end on their own, and then get a couple stops on the defensive end, which these teams can do that.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And what makes it even funnier to me is the fact that they think, and you said this so eloquently so many times over, they think they can just roll a basketball out on the Barclays Center floor. Now we have Kyrie Irving. We're at full strength, which you're not, because there's the Ben Simmons conundrum. And there's the Kyrie Irving conundrum, which I'll get to in a minute.
Right.
That they can just roll the ball out on the floor.
Right.
And just play offensive basketball. And I tie the Lakers into this with this statement. I'll get to the Lakers next segment. These were the two teams coming out of the gate in Las Vegas that they were predicted. Finals.
They were finals opponents, supposedly. Yeah.
They were finals opponents. It's getting cool here in the studio, so I'm gonna put on a jacket. Even though I'm gonna warm this place up with some hot sports talk. We are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, wife got me a new shirt, and it's an extra large. I can't believe I'm down to an extra large.
Congratulations, man.
I'm down to an extra large, man.
Nice.
And when this surgery happens and I get back in the chair, I will still be at an extra large, but better, because I'm not letting myself go anymore. More on that later. My spirit animal, my dragon, that my wife got me for Christmas. So I'm having all kinds of good spirit here this morning. But back to the Brooklyn Nets. I'll repeat a question that I said here. And Sick Diggy, I know you're following along with us in the chat. So I will go ahead and pose the question again. Have the Nets done anything since they moved to Brooklyn?
Well, they
have they done anything?
Well, in terms of hype, in terms of promotion, and in terms of getting people outside of their small circle to talk about them, yes, because even when the Nets were good, even when the Nets were going to the finals, people weren't talking about them like this. So,
right.
Publicity wise, yes. Promotion wise, yes. Marketing wise, oh gosh, yeah, they've done a lot. Mm-hmm. But in terms of how I know you and how your brain works, because it's similar to mine, has it produced anything on the court? The answer is no.
No.
In fact, they have not even sniffed a conference finals yet.
Nope.
Since they've been in Brooklyn. So, no.
And they won't either. Not the way this franchise is constructed. And yes, it's a franchise thing now, because they were supposed to come to Brooklyn and win the title by 2015 with Mikhail Prokhorov being their leader. In fact, Stephen A. famously said they're not coming to fit in. They're coming to take over. Well, Stephen A. and to the rest of the Brooklyn Mets fans, I have a question for you. Has that takeover happened? No.
Well, this is why I find hilarious and funny. And forgive me, I'm about to curse.
And Sick Diggy, not since moving to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, which I believe is a fabulous arena, it just won't see me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful arena.
Mr. Carter has walked away from this disaster. Good for him.
It's not The Rock, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm about to curse. So
go ahead.
That 4-letter network wanted to.
And I started the show with an apology for all my swearing, and here you are doing the same thing with that 4-letter network. Go ahead, please.
That 4-letter network decided.
Oh, you mean the one that shoved LeBron James down our throat for 20 years?
Yeah. So what they wanted to do when Durant became a Net, and I think you saw this, sir, was for 2 weeks solid, these sports shows actually put forth a block. They put forth segment. They put forth, if it was a half-hour show, 8 minutes. If it was an hour or 2-hour show, 15 minutes. They would dedicate 15 minutes to a pop for 2 weeks straight, asking the question, has the Nets overtaken New York? That right there. Well, the answer is no, but that right there tells you the the arrogance of some NBA fan, even with the four-letter network, because they think, well, basketball is pretty much whatever New York is, that's what the rest of the country should be. And the problem is and look, I like the Knicks, except for the fact that I find them humorous with James Dolan owning them. They haven't
1999.
Right. They haven't, and that was the last time they went to the finals. They haven't tasted an NBA championship since I was 2 weeks old and you were, let me see, 9, almost 10 months old. And
1973.
Yeah, May
1973 when they beat the Lakers. In the Forum.
5, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In 5 games, and they beat them and clinched the series in the Forum.
Yeah.
In the Forum.
Yeah. Yeah. You were 9 months of age. I was 3 weeks. That is how long it's been since New York has really been
really stood up.
Yeah. Really stood up. It was a standard bearer in the NBA. Yeah. And ever since then, they've had to.
I'll say it again. The Barclays Center is only full/sold out whenever there's a professional wrestling or MMA event. When has a Nets game ever been sold out? I'll answer that question, Sick Diggy. Technically, it's been sold out since they built the Barclays Center for a Nets game. But let's be honest. You know why the lights are dim? You know why the lights are dim around the crowd? Because not every seat is sold.
Yeah.
People didn't show up.
People don't want to show up.
People don't want to show up. It's happening at the Garden. It's happening at the Barclays Center. I don't want to mention Staples Center, Crypto.com Arena. I don't want to mention Crypto.com Arena.
Listen, the dimming of the lights, though, that's for ambiance.
I will not curse. 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 I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not cuss. You see, you're wrong for that. You're correct, but you're wrong. Okay? You're correct, but you're wrong for that. See, and y'all wonder why I love Cole so much. He just leads me right into where I want to go so well. Good morning, Ryan McCarthy.
Hey, Ryan. How you doing?
Let's keep on target here. Let's go to a break, and we'll talk about the second half of this horrible NBA equation. And I'm going all the way there today. We're presented by Michael Scott Insurance for the final time, for the final week this month. Give a call to 810-985-3211. Cole Johnson, Snowman here. This is Snowman in the Morning. We're back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, the Twitter and the Instagram thing is official SIT Morn. That's the idea. And you're wrong for that bump. Cowboy Stadium. I know you're being creative, and I'm teasing you mercilessly for it. But I love that.
It was just a great motif. I was like, I know he's going to give me flack for it, but so be it.
I'm teasing and giving you flack for it. All right. Guess what else happened yesterday?
Oh, another team had a huge
39 points.
Yeah.
Had a 22-point lead.
23-point lead.
Oh, 23-point lead.
Yeah, they had a 23-point lead.
Isn't that something? Had a 23-point lead.
I figured you'd like that number.
With the Michael Jordan. They had the nerve to have a Michael Jordan type of lead with a person who thought he was Michael Jordan. Which leads to this.
Oh, Lord, wow.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Hey, Bronzexual. No, Bronzexual. I have a question for you. How'd that L feel last night in Nolans? The only thing that would have made it better for me being old school is if it was in front of 60,000 people instead of just 19. And of course, I'm talking about the Superdome.
No, Superdome's not too far from that arena, so
no, they could have fit 60,000 people in the Superdome, just like they're going to do next weekend for the Final Four. That's hour 2. 39 points, 23-point lead. And they lost. Besides the Nets choking one away, that was the most beautiful basketball thing I've seen.
Here's the game in a nutshell for me. So they actually, in the first quarter, started out the gate strong. And they played
13-0.
Yeah, they played lights out in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They actually showed that they could play some defense, but then all of a sudden, here's the two numbers I'm about to bring up. The numbers are 41 and 14. 41 being that's how many points the Lakers gave up in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And 14, that's how much the Lakers scored in the fourth quarter.
Oops.
So,
and this is after 69 in the first half.
This is after 69 in the first half.
69 points in the first half, and they only scored 39 in the second half.
So that tells me one thing.
Defense is optional in the second half?
Well, yeah, defense definitely is optional, but it also tells me that this is why you do not want to have old teams in the playoffs or even late in the regular season, because
they were gassed.
They're going to give you maximum effort at some point, but then you're going to have a stretch where you're going to see them basically be petered out. And
it won't be over 48 minutes.
Yeah.
It will not be over 48 minutes. And that's the problem that you and I have spoken about often with this ball club.
Yeah.
They're old, they're slow, defense is optional, and they don't get the key stops when they need to.
Right.
No, let me change that. Let me use the late great Jim Durham. The execution is up to them, and they don't execute offensively or defensively, because there were several times in the third quarter before New Orleans blitzed them that they could have put the game away.
Well put, because that's exactly what it is. You know, the execution is up to the team, and down the stretch they could not do it.
Nope.
And over a good chunk of time they couldn't either. So
how about the final 12? How about the final 12 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
When New Orleans finally took the lead, the Lakers took the lead back, and then New Orleans snatched it from them and said, "No, you're not going to have the lead again."
Yeah, this is it for you. Yeah,
this is it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again, please.
Bye-bye.
You know who says that a lot now? My grandson, Braylon. Braylon would grab onto my jacket and he'll just kiss me and he'll go, "Bye-bye."
Oh,
I love that kid.
Cool.
This is why God tabbed me to be a grandpapa. All right? Because as soon as I met my grandkids, I fell in love with them. Go on, please.
I love that comment, sick. But
hey, look. Nothing else needs to be said.
Nothing else needs to be said. And since this is a bronze sexual confession segment, I will address the bronze sexuals. I know you all had your moment. I know you all had your moment last night because LeBron, he scored 39 points, pulled down 9 rebounds, gave you 5 dimes.
And
you'd say,
before you address the bronze sexuals, can I pose a question?
Yes, sir.
Did he do anything in the fourth period? Did he do? Let me invoke the great Brent Musburger in a phrase that I use when I call games. Did he do anything significant in the money period?
Not that I'm aware of. I think all of his exploits is like the second quarter, I believe.
Yeah.
So
that's the question I often ask the bronze sexuals about this Laker team.
So
do they have anything left in the money period?
This is what I find hilarious. Oh, I'll get to that in a second. But y'all were in your glory because you saw your man.
Wait. Go.
Okay. You see, because this is where you're in your glory because you saw yo man.
What?
I said your king.
What?
Your royal priesthood.
What?
The object of your desire.
What?
The man you drool over every single day of the week.
What?
The man who has you wearing happy juice.
What?
The one you falsely call the king, he put forth a wonderful stat line. However,
and y'all see this letter, right?
however, there is a meme that's out there where Floyd Mayweather is just tossing money, but instead of money, there's just L's getting tossed at you. And that's what happened. 39 points that LeBron scored because go ahead and hit the
oh, you need that one. Okay,
yeah.
go.
Quote, we haven't seen anybody at 37 years of age do the wonderful, fantastic things that he's done. Close quote.
Can I challenge that?
Yes, sir.
MJ scored 51 at age 38 in a Wizards uniform.
40 at 40. Yeah.
40 at 40, 51 at 38. Abdul-Jabbar, my new GOAT, won a Finals MVP at age 38 in 1985. And I have Abdul-Jabbar as my new GOAT because Cole explained it so beautifully, the most indefensible shot in the NBA. However, I am still a big Michael Jordan fan, and they're like this.
Yeah.
They're like this. If you want one in 1A, here you go. Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan.
You know, the more I've actually looked at it, the more I'm almost becoming. It's like Jordan, Kareem for me too.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing.
Because look, the two most indefensible shots in NBA history. Okay, Michael's fadeaway at 6'6", Abdul-Jabbar skyhook at 7'2", and I don't want to even try to defend Abdul-Jabbar skyhook. Robert Parrish couldn't do it. Moses Malone couldn't do it, and we're talking about the greatest offensive rebounder ever. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, sir.
No, it's okay. You all consider this guy to be the man every single time because he's done this wonderful thing, and now you're almost echoing the same sentiments that the head coach of the team, Frank Vogel, is saying, in that since LeBron is scoring and averaging 30 points a game, he should be you're about to get upset, sir. I'm just giving you a fair warning. He should be the 2022 most valuable player in the NBA.
Which leads to this.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So I had a conversation with a Bronsexual. And he said that exact same thing. Matter of fact, this Bronsexual, let me find it because I'm using my tablet. This Bronsexual said unto me, quote, how's it feel to have the best player in the NBA do what he's doing at his age? Sir?
Close quote.
I said, well, the best player in the NBA is unfortunately injured right now with a strained ligament in his foot, and his team is suffering quite a bit, even though they have 48 wins. The other best player in the NBA has to shoulder a team that will not help him because they decide to play when they want to play. So a full-time player is surrounded by a bunch of part-time players, and the other best player in the NBA is on a team that has been shorthanded all year and lost their center because of a knee setback. Yeah, this Bronsexual was not happy with me. He says, well, I'm talking about LeBron. I said, do me a favor about your king, will you?
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Know your role and shut your mouth. Because he's not. Matter of fact, the opening I played this morning, didn't Brent Musburger call Jordan the king before his first NBA World Championship?
Yeah, about 2 years before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Jim Durham, the late great Jim Durham, on April 20th, 1986, said, wait a minute, let me get it here. Quote. 63 for Jordan. The game is tied at 131 with 110 left. A new NBA record has been set in the Boston Garden by an all-time great. I don't care if he's only played a year and change. He ranks right up there with the all-timers. Close quote. Now, if Jim Durham, one of the greatest broadcasters ever, and that's one of the few things I don't get pushback about when it came to the Chicago Bulls, if Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr, one of the greatest broadcast tandems ever, could see after only a year and a half the greatness of Michael Jordan, riddle me this, why don't we see LeBron's greatness after 20 years? Riddle me this, Bron sexuals. Why don't we see LeBron James's greatness after 20 years of having him shoved down our throat? Can anybody in class answer that? Can anybody in this classroom formulate a theory? Because you can't answer that question because there is no answer.
Well,
Sid Dickey's adding to the Bron sexual confession. LeBron is league MVP. My response is this. Picture James Avery coming back from the dead and giving you the Uncle Phil stare. James Avery, God bless you.
Yes.
God bless you, James Avery.
Wonderful actor.
Now, that would, because Bron sexuals love to say, and I actually had a, wait a minute. I need to do this right.
Oh, another one.
So I had a conversation with another Bron sexual.
Oh, Lord.
Those were my words. And I'm going to really anger you in lieu of another phrase, because this Bron sexual, can't even talk this morning, said the following to me. Sir.
Quote.
LeBron James should be the NBA most valuable player every year just because of what he does.
Close quote.
I will respond first by saying
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And then I say unto you, Professor Cole, go.
The I Promise School does not count for MVP consideration. Space Jam 2 is not considered MVP consideration. His shoe deals are not considered MVP caliber consideration. Even what he does as an NBPA member,
oh dear God,
does not qualify as MVP consideration, because you could say, well, he get his teammates great salaries and he get other players great salaries. What does he do in the area? Time. Yes, in winning time, in the area that is in beige, that is in wood, that is not in not colored in.
In winning time.
What does he
Simply
do
put,
on the court?
In winning time.
Yes. What does he do on the court? And you can, and I tell you this because you bronsexuals seem to not understand it. Many NBA fans don't understand it either, but you bronsexuals sure do not understand it, because you want to always laud LeBron when he does great and the team does poor. You know, like
last night.
Last night. Or a better and brighter example, look at what LeBron did in his last 3 finals losses versus what Jordan did in his last 3 finals wins.
Stop. Stop. We interrupt this class for a quick side education. 3 finals losses, 3 finals wins. In 4 words, I say, make that make sense. I thought the whole idea was to win the whole doggone thing.
That's
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all.
Isn't the whole idea to win the doggone thing? Isn't that the idea?
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, in the years I've watched sports, and it covers almost 5 decades worth, I thought the team idea was to win it all.
And here's what makes it messed up.
I thought that was the idea. Am I incorrect in that assumption? Am I incorrect in that theory?
You're not incorrect at all.
I mean, Ryan McCarthy, I love you, brother. That's like saying Tom Brady should get the NFL MVP for all that he's done for the NFL. Stop. I will use that quote unquote. And Ryan, I need you to voice it because I want to make it an element. Stop. We've never seen, I go, doggone it. See, go, please.
Quote.
We've never seen anyone do what LeBron has done at age 37.
Close quote.
Beavis and Butthead, please.
You're a stupid dumbass.
I didn't cuss. They did. They cussed for me. Okay, go ahead, please. I just had to get that side education for a moment. I just had to do that.
That's what I find ridiculous. It's you all miss the biggest element of them all. You want to make this argument of LeBron, the individual talent. It's great. Jordan, you claim he's an individual talent, but look how horrible he is compared to these stats here. But you doom your argument by saying the word losses under LeBron's stats and wins under Jordan's. And I explained this to another Brownsexual when I talked about Will Chamberlain. And he said, well, yeah, people have Will Chamberlain as a GOAT. And I'm like, okay, here's something that you seem to have missed.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you're missing with LeBron.
Yep.
With all the wonderful stats that he has, and I can reel them off. How many championships did he win? Only 2.
Mm-hmm.
One with the Sixers, one with the Lakers. He went to 4 finals. And his biggest and his greatest rival, he only beat in the playoffs or finals once. And they met many times. In fact, they had played many 7-game series. All the 7-game series, except for one, Will lost to Will Chamberlain. I mean, Will lost to Bill Russell. So you can miss me with all this.
Didn't he lose to the Knicks in 1973?
And 1970.
And
yes.
1970. Thank you. Where Willis Reed, God bless you, Willis Reed, limped out of the locker room, hit 2 buckets, got yanked because his injury was so severe, and the Knicks won by 14 in that clincher, which set Madison Square Garden ablaze. Riddle me this, Mr. Johnson. Where is that kind of moment for LeBron? Finals or no finals? Where is that kind of moment? And you know where I'm going next. I don't want to hear about a chase down block in a game that should not have happened. You're just talking conspiracy. That's not a conspiracy. That's fact. That's fact.
Yeah, that's the moment. That's the moment people will bring up.
Look at the footage of game. Look at the footage of Game 4 from that year.
And for those who don't know when that happened, around I think 4.5 minutes to go, Game 7, 2016 NBA Finals. That to me is not his shining moment. Because it was a good moment for him, but it was a shining.
I'm going all the way there. Does he have one?
He does.
Okay.
He has one.
I'd love to hear what it is.
Yeah. Game 5, 2007, East
Detroit
Conference
Pistons.
Finals.
Detroit
When
Pistons.
the Cavaliers was playing the Pistons, and he scored
And he
29
scored-
of the last 30 points and 25 straight.
Yep. 25 in a row. I'll give it. I will be gracious and give him that because that was outstanding. That absolutely was outstanding. And to your point that you've made so many times on this show, to your point, sir, we thought that after that and 2008, he would soar.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to soar after 2008. Instead, courtesy of Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic.
I had no idea what happened in 2009 because it looked like he was supposed to just simply steamroll over everybody, and then
it didn't it seem that way?
Yeah, and then when he got to the conference finals against the Magic.
And I'm not saying that I've hated LeBron his entire career. I don't hate LeBron the athlete at all. I've only questioned his basketball talents. And 2009 should provide you the proof. 2007, call him mulligan, okay? Because he duct tape, bubble gum, whatever tape you want, electrical tape the team to the NBA World Championship Series, and they got properly pummeled by the San Antonio Spurs, okay? Call him a mulligan on 2007. 2008, terrific Eastern Conference Finals. Waiting for him to take that next step. And I'm going to anger a lot of bronzexuals with my next sentence. A step that he never took. Even in his years in Miami, where he had to paper chase and title chase and trophy chase. He never took that next step. Ryan McCarthy. The biggest difference between the two is that MJ took his losses. Let me read that again. The biggest difference between the two is that MJ took his losses. Look at his rookie year, 1985, up until 1991, and how many losses he took. Adversity makes you better. When you lose to possibly the greatest basketball team ever assembled, of course, we're talking about the 86 Boston Celtics, who, as Dick Stockton said before Game 2, April 20th, 1986 in the Boston Garden, a nightly clinic on how to play basketball, a nightly clinic on how to play the game, okay? And then you look at LeBron and you see, and you're just saying, where's the nightly clinic? Where are you trusting your teammates? Why aren't you trusting your teammates? Again, Phil Jackson was part of that 69-70 Knicks team, although he missed the whole season after undergoing back surgery. But he still got his championship ring.
Oh.
And one more time, thank you, Sid Diggy, for this. His basketball talents. What about his heart and drive under pressure? That's what I questioned since
probably 2010.
Yeah.
Probably 2010.
Since 2000. I questioned it since 2009.
Well,
because after Orlando, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I questioned it after 2009 because after Orlando took a 3-1 lead,
which they should not have
smacked them around twice in Florida to break a 1-1 tie. That heart and pressure, that heart and drive under pressure, I saw in one shot in 2009, and that was the game winner in Game 2. Where he rescued the Cavaliers. Okay. Yeah. That was the only shot I saw where he began to take that step. He rescued the Cavaliers after they choked a 26-point lead because Hedo Turkoglu had no business hitting a 25-footer to give him the lead with 1 second remaining. He had no business. Listen to me again, bronzexuals. Hedo Turkoglu had no business being that wide open to give Orlando the lead. And then LeBron hits an incredible shot to not only win the game, but tie the series. That's the last time I saw LeBron have heart, soul, and drive under pressure.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
They got smacked twice in Florida.
And that makes sense. But the reason why I believe I don't say 2009 is because of basically what we see now. We see, wow, I mean, this team is losing in spite of LeBron going off for 40 in the game. And I was starting to see that, and of course, I should have understood then this was going to be a narrative that was going to continue in the future. You're like, well, LeBron is doing all he can, but the team just sucks. And that was the case in 2009's Eastern Conference Finals. That 2010 Eastern Conference Semifinals matchup against the Celtics, I don't know what the heck you call that. I seriously do not know what you call that.
Okay, Muhammad Ali comes to mind, greatest boxer ever. Okay.
What's up, Nate?
Nate's in the house. Been away a little bit. What's up, Nate? Nate, I got to have you on the program, my man.
Oh, please.
Muhammad Ali comes to mind. What happened in 2010 after the Cavaliers took a 2-1 lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals?
No excuse.
Muhammad Ali woke up. Doc Rivers woke up. And Cleveland won Game 3, 124-95 in Boston. Okay? In the TD Garden.
And I get that was a wake-up call for the Celtics. I get that.
The Cleveland Cavaliers fell asleep.
That is the problem I have there. You supposedly, you have the home field advantage. You supposedly have the better team. You have the best superstar, one that's better than the big three that they had on the other end. But you have the game at home after the Celtics tied at 2, and you put forth a 3 of 14 performance like you could give a crap. And this is the team people are saying is your kryptonite. I mean, LeBron was having his Jordan-esque narrative painted for him because the team for LeBron was the team for LeBron was the Celtics. The team for Jordan was the Pistons. This is the team that he can't get over. So you have this team that you can't get over narrative, and this is your moment, like you were saying, to rescue your team and say, all right, boys, get on my back. I got you. Basically, the moment that he did in 2012. Yeah,
2012.
Yeah. He was supposed to have that moment 2 years earlier in Cleveland, but did not.
No. And that's why you said so well, and I love you for this. We only saw the best of LeBron in Miami.
Yes.
Why?
That was the best problem. Yeah.
Because LeBron tried to take over the team, and Patrick Riley wasn't having it.
You coach? I coach? Or is it no? I'm in charge of player personnel. Spoelstra is coach. You play. That's it. Out of my office.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm going to I'm going to incorporate Clyde Drexler, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Julius Erving. Now, we all know these players had influence with their teams, but did they ever blatantly go to the front office and say, I want this player, and this player? I'll answer that for you. No.
Now, if they were asked, they would volunteer who they would probably like to have on the team.
Yep.
Like I'm sure.
Which is what Stephen Clay signed off on.
Right.
When the ownership came to them.
Right.
Okay?
That's how it normally works.
Yeah. The ownership, Joe Lacob and company, came to the Splash Brother and Steve Kerr, because Steve's the coach.
Right.
Went to Steve Kerr first and said,
do you think
we have an opportunity to get Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant just called me. Do you want to sign Kevin Durant? And I know Steve Kerr gave a wonderful look, and I'm teasing as I say this, but this is how the conversation went. And I'm paraphrasing here. We have a chance to sign Kevin Durant. Do you want? Yes. Go to the Splash Brothers. We have a chance to sign Kevin. Bring him. So Joe Lacob called Kevin back and uttered the immortal words of one Johnny Olson and Rod Roddy. Come on down. And they flew him out to the Bay.
But to hear people tell that story all sort of messed up and wrong.
You ain't got to tell me.
The Splash Brothers went to the ownership and said, we got to have Durant on the team. No.
No. You know who else? You know who else Joe Lacob went to?
Ivan. Yeah.
You know who else Joe Lacob went to? Draymond Green.
Yeah. He's
because remember,
part of the team.
Remember, Draymond said, we lose in the finals, we have a chance to get Kevin Durant. Bring
him. Yeah.
And remember, folks, to have all these bronzexuals and Westbrookites and Irvingites and all these other people saying, Kevin Durant made an awful decision. We need parity in the league. Kevin Durant told every one of you, shut up. I'm making a grown decision here and now. He got away from Westbrook and won 2 championships and 3 finals appearances. Kevin Durant got away from Westbrook. Let me say it again. Kevin Durant got away from Westbrook. And I'm hoping after this season, Kevin Durant tells Kyrie Irving, adios, I'm going home to California.
I would love to.
I
see
really
that,
hope.
it's not gonna happen.
I know it's not going to happen. Let me have my wishful thinking moment.
All right, fine. I'm sorry. My bad.
You're fine. I mean, I would just love for Kevin Durant to give Kyrie Irving the middle finger, give Ben Simmons the middle finger, give Nets management the middle finger, and say, I hate my time here. I'm going home. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home to California. Will it happen? No. And I realize that. I realize that. I absolutely realize that. Doggone it. I realize that. And I hate it. But to be absolutely fair, wouldn't that just be the happy ending for Kevin Durant? Because there's no happy ending for LBJ until he retires. And he ain't going to retire until he plays a year with his son, wherever his son signs. And I've said this before, and I will say it again happily. Bronny, if you heard that statement, run.
Here are the 4 things that need to happen before LeBron retires.
1,
pass Kareem on the all-time scorers list.
2,
get to 40,000 points.
3,
play with his son.
And 4,
sign a 1-day contract with the Cavaliers, because that's when he'll retire.
Which means he's going to be shoved down our throat and up our backside for at least another 5 years.
Sounds about right. Because he doesn't seem to show any signs of wanting to go into
slow down and ride off into the sunset like he should have done
going to
after
play
Miami.
Post-career. Yeah, he doesn't seem to want to play post-career yet. So
I mean, oh gosh, I mean, I can't. You know what, Nate? You're wrong, but I got to post this.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But see, they'd be so angry with him with the pickup game because he probably be dominating the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. While traveling all the time.
And Bronzexual, stop raving over the fact that the guy hit a 33-foot three-pointer. Whoopee.
You know, with him signing with the Cavaliers on a 1-day deal would just about would do it. 1-day deal with the Cavaliers. Now I'm hanging it up. But I would love to see an interruption to those four things, and I'll say it again. People got mad at me when I said it the first time. I will say it again. Bronny, listen to old Snowman carefully. I am a proud papa. If I were involved in sports as a player, and my son is growing up and playing sports, I retire and I become daddy. I retire and I become daddy. Period. I want a moment like Dusty Baker had with his son Darren. And for those of you who don't know, Darren Baker, Dusty's baby boy, is all grown up now and presented the lineup card for a spring training game when they played the San Francisco Giants and surprised his father. I want that kind of moment for my child. And Sick Diggy, I love you for this. Bronny James is going to run from his, like Booker T was running from Stone Cold. Hopefully there won't be an altercation in the supermarket or anywhere else. But I'd run. And Sick Diggy, you wrong because you know I love that incident.
Oh my!
And they talked about that incident and how they set it up and everything. That's a later episode when I come back. But no, I wouldn't want to. No, I wouldn't want that for my son. I wouldn't want to steal the spotlight from Bronny, who's just about as skilled as his dad. I mean, he's not even the best player on his high school team. People hate when I say that. People hate when Cole says that. But do you see any lies in that? Are there any lies detected there?
Not from what I can see.
Good. So bronsexuals, I got to do this right. I got to close this the right way.
All right.
Bronsexuals, first of all, what Braun is doing at 32nd has never been done.
Euphoria.
Second of all, remember this.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And thirdly, remember to do this.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
I'm done.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
Clap them cheeks for LeBron.
Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Grrr. Grrr.
Why are you growling, sir?
Well, one, I love my children and my grandchildren. Two, I love my wife, and they have growling moments. Listen, Jody changed me for all the better, okay?
Oh, of course.
And three, and most importantly, and Sick Diggy, this is for you. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear. I will not cuss. The whole chalkboard from The Simpsons opening is me saying I will not cuss. And so far I haven't. So I can and will do this. Because you know, Cole, you know there are some doubters out there. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Aunt Trisha.
Morning, Aunt Trisha.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. You know what, Sick Diggy? I love you. And that was preceded by this.
Got milk, Bronny?
If LeBron and Sick Diggy, this is real. If LeBron's going to embarrass his son, this is not the way. No. No, it isn't. I wouldn't want that for my children.
No.
Like I said, if I was an athlete and my baby boy or baby girl wanted to play sports, I retire immediately. And I do what Tom Hamilton does. I go in the booth and I watch him. I coach him from afar. And I don't coach them unless they ask. Because they have to have the independence, I feel, to come to me. Okay? Not have it forced upon them. Not have it forced upon them. But if they come to me and they say, I want to play the sport that you play, it's on and popping. Tell me what you need. That's all I would say. Tell me what you need. And we're good. Now I'm warming this jacket, all that brown sexual confessions and all the hot sports takes we've had this morning. Now I gotta take my jacket off. Doggone it. Anyway. Well, let's take a break. No, you know what? We're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here, and I'm gonna intro hour 2 this way.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Here's a 2-1. And that's driven deep to left center field. Gardner is going back. Looking up. See you later. See you later. Astros headed back to the World Series. Jose Altuve, a walk-off 2-run homer. And the Astros beat the Yankees 6-4. Win the ALCS 4-2.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It's hour 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And I'm so happy Cole Johnson's along for the ride. And thank you for that song, my man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that song, my friend. So you know I'm going to use the daylight side of it. Intros, breaks, because when I come home from my surgery, and I expect your help in this, there's going to be a lot of breaks and a lot of segments that have that song. We got our new intro song, and I had to put it to work.
All right.
And Trisha said, "Oh, LeBron got you hot already." Trish, let me put it this way.
No.
Yes, and I'm laughing.
No.
He doesn't have me hot.
No. Mm-hmm.
My wife has me hot, but that's a different story. Earl Woods Sr. teaching Tiger, or Richard Williams teaching his daughters. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. See, like I said, all right, let's go there. If I'm involved in sports and I was a player and my kids came to me and said, "Daddy, I want to learn your sport," I'm handing in my paperwork. I'm telling the league I play for, look, I'm retiring. I got plenty of money saved up. I'm becoming daddy. Period. I'm becoming daddy.
Yeah, spotlight's yours. Yeah.
Do what the Currys do. Because you know their kids are going to be involved some way. And when Stephen steps away from the game, he'll do it in plenty of time. Listen, brown sexuals, carefully. He'll do it in plenty of time for his son to grow. And should he become involved, Steph becomes daddy. He's not Chef Curry anymore. He's not unanimous MVP anymore. He's the greatest title ever, daddy, of which I am. Now, I'm not only daddy, but I'm granddaddy. Either of my grandsons come to me and they say, "Would you teach me?" You don't have to ask. But if I was in a professional league, the day any of my children or grandchildren ask me, "I want you to teach me about this sport," I'm retired. I'm a parent or grandparent first and foremost. I mean, it's so easy, and I love what Draymond is doing I love what Steph is doing, getting their kids involved now. They have they have the resources, okay? But to the point where you want to play with your son? No. Not having it.
All right, now,
get them involved now, okay? Like what Draymond does and what Steph does, get them around the players and everything. Do what Dell did for Steph.
All right. So,
what you got for me?
All right. So, what would you say about what would
See,
you?
Here you go, Sick Diggy. Thank you. And I love the Griffies.
Beautiful.
You know that.
Sick went exactly where I was going to go.
He actually had a second one. There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, Sick went where I was about to go. So, what do you think about the situation of Ken Griffey Sr., who is still playing, with a Ken Griffey Jr. coming up, and now he's a newly minted major leaguer?
Exception to the rule. Okay. For me, that would be the exception to the rule because baseball has the longest money anyway.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Sr. had already established himself with the Cincinnati Reds.
Right.
He already established himself with the Cincinnati Reds.
And for the record,
Ken Griffey Jr. drafted by the Mariners and already climbing the walls and making catches and everything.
Right.
It was just by the grace of God they played together in 1990.
Right. And for the record, I have no issue with that at all. None.
Like I said, exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Exception to the rule. And Ryan, you're so right. Gordie Howe played hockey long enough to play with his sons, but that was a different era, much different era.
Oh, far different era.
Much different era. In the 21st century, I wouldn't do it. 20th century, however, being given the fact that my first love was baseball, I do it. I would do it, but only do it one season, like what Griff Sr. did,
right,
with Junior Griffey.
Yeah,
1 season on the field with the Seattle Mariners. That was it. I would love the idea of playing with my son, but it's for selfish reasons. The question is, how does Bronny feel? That's a question I would love to have answered. Keep the questions coming, folks. And if you're in here for the first time and you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop your comments. Also, we are presented by Michael Scott Insurance, and we are live on BS3 TV. And I am proud to say the return of SDM Sports Radio and the return of Snowman Digital Media.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't hear me? I'll say it again. We're back on the SDM Sports Network and SDM Sports Radio and Real Wise Radio this morning. I went through it. I thought about it, and I said, you know what? Heck with it. And again, serendipity being Jody K. Snow yanked me aside, took my face in her hands, and said, look, the Snowman brand is out there. Use it. So, baby, I am. Oh, here's an example for you. Klay Thompson learning how to play from his father, Michael, even how to win championships.
And how to be a team player.
And how to be. Say that last one again. Wait. Okay. I mean, gotta do this. Say that last one again, please.
Quote. And how to be a team player. Close quote.
With those, I wouldn't even call them mitigating circumstances. With those circumstances, I would do it. But given how today's era is, and given, unfortunately, in many cases, the power of social media, see last night's Oscars.
Oh,
I'm not even going to touch that incident, but y'all get the idea. If it was a situation, like I said, with the Griffies and with the Howes, Klay Thompson with his dad, Michael, Stephen Curry with his dad Dell, who I had the great pleasure to meet 2 years ago.
In his own right, was one of the best
And
big players of all time.
In that situation, I would do it. Which prompts a question. Can I go there? Can I go there?
Please, what is your question, sir? As he takes a sip from the wonderful cup.
I had to get a drink first because I can just hear Jody in my head. Drink. Why isn't Stephen Curry's MVP speech from 2015 more celebrated?
All right, I'll be blunt.
Please do.
His
That's why I threw it out there.
His 2015 speech isn't celebrated because he himself is not nearly as celebrated as others. I mean, it's funny. We had the speech the year before with Kevin Durant, and we hear the MVP thing, dedicating basically the moment and his career and the award to his mother Wanda, who wonderful woman.
Yes.
People seem to have that idea that Durant is a face of the league type of guy. Steph, on the other hand, not so much. Even now, and I find it funny.
I find it hilarious.
Yeah, because
can I invoke a theory?
Yeah, sure.
Can I invoke a theory here? Matter of fact, I'll do this.
Lost the football. It's on the ground. Covered by the Raiders.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass.
That's gone. They might be going to call George Brett out. Well, he is. He's out. Yes, Brett is out. Incredible opportunity. Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown.
Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers. Kevin Durant from downtown.
Whether you like it or don't like it, it's something you gotta live with each and every day of your life.
It's time for an unpopular opinion, and Cole, thank you so much for that intro.
No
Absolutely fabulous. That's why you're one of the EPs of the program. Our video executive producer, Cole Johnson, who will take the chair next week while I'm stomping a mud hole in this cancer and walking it dry as they cut it out of me. Here's my unpopular opinion about why Steph Curry's speech is not as celebrated as other MVP speeches like Kevin Durant, like Derrick Rose, and like others. Because he openly thanked his father. Oh, y'all didn't hear me. Oh, y'all didn't hear me because I'm about to preach. He openly, without batting an eye, without squinting, squealing, or squirming. In fact, he did something Cole and I often do on this program. He proudly thanked his father. That part of his MVP speech, and I watched the whole thing, half the whole thing, that made me cry. And that made me miss my dad even more. Because if I were in that situation, he's besides God and my wife, he's the first person, I think.
Yeah.
Now, why are fathers who have been there with their children, watched them grow, watched them mature, and this is especially true in sports, do your research, especially you, bronsexuals. Why isn't this celebrated ... Ready? like it should be. Bring up, number 24, Ken Griffey Jr. Who was one of the first people he thanked in his speech?
Senior.
Mm-hmm. The person who taught him the game.
Yep.
The person who taught him the game. Kevin Durant's first post-game interview after his first world championship. His mom was there, yes. But he also mentioned his dad, who got him started.
Yep.
Let me win it. Let me win a championship. I'm looking for two people, my wife and my father.
That's about right.
Steph Curry was choking back tears when he gave his dad an ode in his MVP speech. I couldn't choke back the tears. I'm not going to choke back the tears. I'm going to let them flow when I speak of my wife, as y'all saw last Friday, and I speak of my father. Because my father got it right. My father, as bad of a... I'm going all the way there. And I know I'm going to make you smile, sir, when I say this. As bad of a stigma that is placed on black fathers in the 21st century, how about the good stigma that was placed on the real black fathers that were in their children's lives, stayed married to the ones they were with that produced the child in the 20th century? And I'll add the 21st century too, because I've seen them, I've met them, I've talked to them, I've shook their hands. When I joke with them and say, how do you keep up with this bunch? And they'll look at me and they'll go, it's not easy. Mom's right there laughing. Okay? Mom's right there laughing. And yet still today, the fathers that are in their children's lives, especially when it comes to sports, are not given the credit they deserve. Now, granted, I'm not behind the scenes. I know that. But as a father myself, you just have to believe that they are doing things the right way. And I go back to Stephen Curry's 2015 MVP speech when he gave an ode to his father, an ode to his pops, which I affectionately called my dad until the day he passed.
Yeah. An ode to the man he's named after.
Full name and all.
Mm-hmm.
Full name and all.
Yeah.
Why do you think Stephen Curry either photobombs or video bombs his father, who was part of the Charlotte Hornets broadcast team?
Oh Lord! And see, you're touching on something that I love more than how he loves Aisha, and more than how he loves his two daughters and son, and more than how he's beloved in the Bay Area. I get a kick the most, even more so than when he does his 50, 60, 7-foot or tunnel shot threes.
Yes.
When either the Warriors are in Charlotte or when the Hornets are in San Francisco. It is wonderful to see Steph invite his father out to take a shot.
Yep.
And almost every time without fail, Dale shows he still has the shot, which and he is, and I will continue to say this. He is one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time.
Yes, he is. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that proudly.
And it's beautiful to see this guy in his mid-50s still with that sweet stroke, hitting nothing but net,
and
looking clean.
Looking cool and clean in a suit.
He's looking cool, clean,
watching his son
beam
do the same.
Yes, watch his son do the same. And then when you see Steph look at his father and he hits the shot, the only time I think I've ever seen him smile that wide was when he won the first championship of his career. Because there is very little that makes him smile wider than that, and I love that. And that's what made me appreciate Steph on a level that I don't with most other basketball players.
Yep. That's the exact reason I appreciate Steph and Clay and others that honor their dad.
Yeah.
Let me say that again, y'all. It makes me appreciate Steph and Clay and Michael Jeffrey Jordan for the way they honor their dad. First championship. Yes, MJ was crying with his wife Juanita in tow, but who did he look for first? James. Let me say that again. Who did he look for first in the Great Western Forum locker room in the midst of the champagne going crazy? He looked for his father.
Yep.
Steph Curry's tears were out of pure joy regarding his father. Being grateful regarding Russell Westbrook's being grateful regarding his wife and possible fear. Being grateful regarding his wife, I get that.
I do too.
If y'all saw the end of Friday show, I get that more than you know.
And Nina's a cool woman. I have no issue about Nina Westbrook at all.
None whatsoever.
Love the fact that she stands up for her family and for us. Love it.
Yes.
Love it and love her for it.
Love that. Love that. But we're talking about a cancel culture today that cancels men. Let me go all the way there. A cancel culture, yeah, I'll stay where I'll go all the way there. A cancel culture that cancels men that honor their fathers by speaking well, by doing well, by using their education in and out of school, mind you, to put forth the best effort to make their best lives. Men who are not afraid to, as I always say at the end of the show, dream big and do bigger and better.
Yeah.
Ones that dream big, do bigger, and don't care what other people think. And don't care what other people say. Now, I will admit it took me into my 40s to get all the way there. Ben, thank you. Father-son bond is unmatched. My dad taught me everything. Doggone, he didn't.
Oh, it's funny.
Carl Lewis showed love to his father. He buried his first Olympic gold medal with his dad. Lewis Sr. would eventually pass away.
It's funny when we hear a lot of people talk about the mother-daughter relationship having that type of unmatched bonding, which I'm sure they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it with my wife every day with my daughters.
Yeah, I'm sure
I see it every day.
And I've seen it with my wife and her mother, and my mother and her and my mother and my grandmother. I've seen it, so I understand it. I understand that there is a bond that you just cannot explain. But Ben is correct. There's a bond between father and son that is unparalleled.
It is
unparalleled.
It's so unparalleled. And can I use a certain U word? It's so underrated.
And it's so underappreciated.
That's a better word. Underappreciated. It's underrated and underappreciated.
Yeah.
Because if my dad were here today, if my dad were alive today, I will honestly say there will be people that will be getting sick of seeing him on camera with me. That will get sick of seeing me kiss him, give him a hug before I go on air.
Giving love to pops, I have no issue with that at all. I'd be smiling on this end.
I mean,
saying, Mr. Snow, love you, homie.
There will be two people I would show love to every morning. I married one, the other gave me life. End of story.
Man, so today's the 28th. So in 6 days, my father will be celebrating, my mother will be celebrating a milestone. They'll be married 50 years. And
something about that number 50.
So that's why it's difficult for me
and
to forget.
congrats to your parents.
Thank you, man.
On their upcoming 50th.
Yeah, so that's why it'll be difficult to forget how old you will be in July, because I think about them like, well, they'd be married the same amount of time. But I know when I'm going to talk to my father and my mother too. But I know when I talk to my father, I know I'm gonna choke back some tears. I already know, and it's because I know.
Problem here.
No, and it's because I know how much my mother means to him. Of course, how much I mean to him too, but how much my mother means to him, and how good his life has been, and how he reflects. He takes a lot of time reflecting.
Oh yeah.
And now he's at the stage in life where he's like, man, life is so good. Everything I appreciate so much, and I learn from that example. And it's amazing the little things that your father does that you pick up, and that in your walk of life you tend to do something, and then you stop and you think, and it's like, oh Lord. For example, so my father's a neat freak, and my father loves to make sure everything is tidy.
Yes.
So there'll be times that he would just not even in his own house or around the house. Of course he does that too, but just in just regular areas, he'll just bend down, pick up trash, and throw it away. Right. So I think I was about 30, and I was seeing a polluted area, and so I just blindly just went down, picked up stuff, tossed the trash. I bent down, picked up the fourth thing. My mother walks by and says, "Oh, you just like your father." And I paused. I was like, I'll be doggone.
I mean this playfully. Pow! Right there.
Yeah. My immediate thought was, man, you can tell me I'm living like my old man through osmosis. I'll be doggone.
You know, hey, every day since June 12th of 2007. Okay? Every day since June 12th of 2007. But that's my unpopular opinion. When dad's love is celebrated, it's underrated. That's why speeches like those and actions like those are underrated, underappreciated, and uncelebrated. That's my unpopular opinion.
Blitz. Lost the football. It's on the ground. Covered by the Raiders.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass.
That's gone. They might be going to call George Brett out. Well, he is. He's out. Yes, Brett is out. Incredible opportunity. Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown.
Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers. Kevin Durant from downtown.
Whether you like it or don't like it, it's something you gotta live with each and every day of your life.
Now we welcome Jay Spivey to the program. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Doing good, man.
Doing good. I just have one question and one question only. How in the world did the North Carolina Tar Heels go from an inconsistent 8 seed to New Orleans, Louisiana? How'd this happen?
Well, Brian, let me start by saying this. I've been wanting to say this all week. Let me, and then I'll answer your question. To all your listeners, I want them to let them know that how special you are and how important you are to your listeners, because I know you're going through a tough time and you're able to kind of go through this. And I know it means a lot to you for you to hear your listeners and to kind of hear contact from them. So I'm sure we all wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ditto.
Thank you. Ditto. That means the world to me, Jay.
You're welcome. I've been wanting to say that all week.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, so
but to answer your question, I really think sometime in January or early February, they started meshing together. I think we talked about this. I actually saw them play against Wake Forest in January, and they got absolutely blown out of the building.
Yes.
I think they lost, but it was like nearly 30, I think. And I don't know what changed between then and now, but something clicked. And other than the Pitt game in February, I don't know how they lost that game.
And we talked about it before the tournament started 2 weeks ago. We talked about it.
But this is, you can really argue even before yesterday. And I know St. Peter's is probably just emotionally exhausted.
Yeah.
But even before yesterday, I told some friends and a lot of people around me that you could argue that Carolina was the best team in the tournament.
Yeah, you can make that.
They're
you
not
can
right now.
really make that argument.
I know they're technically an 8 seed, but they're not an 8 seed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They played like a 1 seed all throughout. The tournament.
Yeah,
Every opponent in front of them, and they played team basketball well, very well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are going to say, "Hey, you mock Hubert Davis," and I'm not trying to mock Hubert Davis.
Right.
But I mean, you got to play this out over years, not just 1 year. And I'll give them all credit and him credit.
Exactly. Same here.
I have nothing against Hubert Davis, nothing whatsoever.
No, not at all. But to your point, Jay, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
When you're a program
that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Keep doing it.
When you're a program like Carolina, and I saw this morning, as a matter of fact, this is they've been to the Final Four at least once in every decade since the 40s.
Yes.
Wow.
Here they are now. Here, in fact, 4 blue bloods are in the Final Four.
And literally all blue.
All blue.
Literal and figurative.
Kansas, Carolina, Duke, and Villanova.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of these teams in my Final Four. The closest I picked was Villanova, and I expected them to lose to Arizona. And then Houston said, "You know what, Snowman? We're going to make you angry." And killed. They killed Arizona. They stopped them from running. But credit to Kansas, to Villanova, to Duke, and to North Carolina for getting there. For getting to the Final Four. I mean, this is incredible.
I don't think you can ask for a much better Final Four.
No. And 2 great matchups. 2 absolutely fabulous matchups.
I said this when I looked at who was going to be in the Final Four. I said, man, this actually is a perfect March Madness tournament. You had a whole lot of upsets. You had the big teams go home. You had the Cinderellas that you follow. But in the end, in the Final Four, you have 4 blue bloods. I'm like, man, NCAA could not NCAA could not have had the tournament go any better than it did.
And could not have returned with fans in the stands.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Perfectly.
This is the first true tournament since 19.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't have one in 20, and last year was in a bubble, so I mean, there were very few fans.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is really the first tournament in 3 years.
And how could you not love these Final Four matchups? How could you not love these Final Four teams that are there? Villanova won a meat grinder against Houston. A meat grinder. You didn't know if Houston would push the game to overtime or Villanova would pull away. Or the Elite Eight matchups I saw were some of the best I've seen in a long time. We'll discuss the Final Four later in the week. Now, the Charlotte Hornets beat the Brooklyn Mess. Let me say it another way. The Charlotte Hornets came back from double digits and beat the New Jersey Nets, a team that people are picking to go to the NBA World Championship Series.
The shade on
Talk to me.
The shade on the Nets still. That's sad.
You mean the team that may get in the play-in series?
No.
We're talking about the Brooklyn mess.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait. The team that as of 9:42 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, March 28, 2022, is the Las Vegas favorite to win it all.
I'm sorry. I just don't.
Are they still the Las Vegas favorite?
Unfortunately, yes.
How?
And even more so with Kyrie actually playing home games.
You know something? Let me touch on that. I never got a chance to touch on it this morning. How does Kyrie playing home games make any kind of difference to the Brooklyn mess? You got an answer for me, Jay? How does that make any difference?
Well, listen, I mean, I'll use the term soap opera in quotes.
Beautiful.
His soap opera.
It fits.
You can take the quotes off. It's a soap opera. Him and the team. But go ahead, please.
And the fact that his teammates, especially Kevin Durant, have stuck up for him this season boggles my mind.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with you, Jay. Same boat with
Cole. Haven't I said this before? Haven't I said this before about his teammates sticking up for him?
Yeah, especially Durant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially Durant. Go on, Jay.
And here we are, less than 2 weeks left of the regular season, and they're in ninth place behind the Hornets.
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind, I mean, like you said, they just lost the Hornets last night. They're almost definitely going to be in the play. I mean, they are going to be in the play-in game.
Yeah, they ain't playing now.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting to the 6th seed. No way.
And as of right now, if the season were to end and the two teams would end up tied, well, the Hornets will have the better seeding.
Yeah.
And the Mets will have to go to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And and then you'd have to play another game after that just to get out of the play.
Just to get out of the
Just to get out of it. Because if they don't win the first one, they're done.
And then their actual true playoffs start that weekend.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about 2 extra games in a short amount of time, and then that weekend the real playoffs begin. They're going to be gassed and they're going to get blasted.
Yeah.
And this drama is going to stay with them. I mean, whether it was COVID or not, Kyrie Irving brings drama with him everywhere he goes.
Oh,
just ask the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers. Absolutely. Just ask the Cleveland Cavaliers, because after he won them a championship, not LeBron, after he won them the championship in 2016, he hasn't been the same, and he has been. Irvingologists are going to get mad at me, but I will say it correctly. He has been cooked since 2017.
What does it say to you that, pretty much LeBron can pretty much do whatever he wants to in the NBA? And
which is put the NBA in peril for 20 years.
You never hear him talk about Kyrie Irving. And he really probably at some point could have played with him anywhere he wanted, or including the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't heard LeBron say a word about him and wanting to play with him.
You know why? Kyrie got LeBron his Cleveland championship.
Exactly.
That's exactly why. LeBron is a user. All right. People hate me. Bron sexuals especially hate me for saying this, but let's just call a spade a spade. All right. Let's call a club, a diamond, and a heart. Okay. Let's just call it for what it is. LeBron James is a user. Just ask Dwayne Wade. Just ask Chris Bosh. Just ask Eric Spoelstra.
So
4 years in Miami, and he blew up that house when he was supposed to stay there for the remainder of his career. Y'all remember the speech? Quote, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, close quote. And what happened? They get popped in the mouth by Dallas, and they get kicked in the rear end by San Antonio in the bookend years, 2011, 2014.
So you saying that LeBron James treats his teammates like the Chris Rock joke when it talks about men wanting sex? I mean, wanting these 3 things from women. It said,
you may not want to mention Chris Rock after last night.
Oh, I didn't, and we won't.
Oh no! I'm not mentioning it from last night, but Chris Rock said,
I know better than to touch that incident. Everybody else, listen. Every other black person is weighing in on it. Me, I talk sports, and that's that.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, the Chris Rock was like, and I can picture LeBron thinking this way. He said, "Man, LeBron wants nothing but this with his teammates: food, sex, silence. Food, sex, silence. Feed
Food,
me,
sex,
f me,
silence.
shut the f up."
Yep. Yep, that's exactly the way LeBron has operated and has been since he has been shoved down our throats and up our backside since 2001.
It's like, look, just know that I'm the man. Give me a championship and then be quiet.
Well, one thing I'm saying,
no kind of concern for Kyrie whatsoever. Well, Kyrie fed into that himself by thinking, "Hey, I'm the man now since I'm in Boston." Yeah, you get sidelined with an injury, and then the media just punches you right where you belong, in the mouth.
Well, one thing I'm sure you guys hear all the time, I hear it all the time, including for some friends of mine. There's this narrative out there that LeBron is better than Jordan. I laugh at that. I just laugh at that. And I don't have anything against LeBron at all.
Jay.
But
and neither
Michael
do Brian
Jordan?
nor me. Right.
Jay, don't get me started.
And neither do Brian nor me. But
we have nothing against LeBron. Okay. And Jay, you and I have talked about this. The narrative, like you said, the narrative is LeBron's better than Jordan. Well, riddle me this, Batman. If LeBron is better than Jordan, where are the championships to prove it?
Well, it's just that anybody, that's the thing, is this generation, pretty much from teenagers up till 35 or 40, I guess, they don't know those great years that Jordan had. They don't want to, and I say this not just about sports, I say this about this generation in general.
Yep.
They don't think anything happened before they were born.
Or you'd be like Kendrick Perkins, who's around 40 and saw Jordan play. They just automatically forget that. They forget about that greatness altogether.
And the impact
every time
impact that Michael Jordan made in the NBA, not just the NBA, but culture.
Yes.
I mean, it was an event to watch the Bulls on any given night of the season.
All throughout the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was that.
Forget the playoffs.
It was
any given night.
It was being set up on the last years of CBS, 88, 89, and 90. And then when the NBA contract moved to NBC, the Bulls just took it over. And if you had a chance to watch a Bulls game on NBC, guess what you're doing? You're taking it.
Yes. It was an event. Now, I think this is more a byproduct of how the game is played now, or just the fact that
totally is.
Older, I think generally older people don't watch the NBA as intently as they used to.
Correct.
You would be correct.
But whether it be LeBron or Kevin Durant or any other player in the NBA now, it's not an event to watch them play on a Tuesday night in February or January.
What did you say, Cole? The 10-wing league?
Yeah, that's what it is. A 10-wing player league. Yeah.
Yep. It's what it's become, and it's horrible. I watched, and I admitted this aloud a few years ago. I only watch the highlights, and that's as far as my NBA watching goes, because frankly, I can't sit in front of a television for 2.5 hours and watch a product that I know has eroded.
It's terrible.
It's eroded.
It's unfortunate that the NBA is like one step above rec league.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Well, the quality is bad
because now it's all
bad. There's no fundamentals. And honestly, guys,
can you say that part again?
No fundamentals.
Can you say that part? No fundamentals whatsoever.
None.
And jacking up threes.
No fundamentals whatsoever.
Jacking up threes and dunking. That's all it is. There's no mid-range jumpers. They can't make free throws.
Which is why, gentlemen, I know we will share this opinion. I'd rather watch a women's game from start to finish.
The fundamentals are they clown the guys guys fundamentally.
The women will run the women will run circles around them.
I said this
They'll run
the
circles
other day. Other than LeBron and Durant, you could argue that the next 3 or 4 best players are from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say?
Oh, you can easily argue that. Oh, yes.
Doncic, Jokic, Antetokounmpo, and then Embiid, who's from Africa.
Yeah, who's from Africa.
Oh, yeah. You can easily argue that. Yes.
From Cameroon. Yeah. And unfortunately, Embiid won't sniff the MVP this year. And I have a theory as to why. Cole, you know this theory very well. In fact, it's a popular bump of mine. If I were Joel Embiid, and I've said this before, and Jay, I think you'll agree with me. If I were Joel Embiid and James Harden's my teammate, and you got to trust him beyond April, I'd run.
Absolutely.
I'd run.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not the way I put it before, but cleaning up the image, I'd run.
I'm not even sure you really could trust Embiid for a long period either.
If he
Only
stays,
health-wise.
you can trust him. You can trust him if he stays on the floor.
He's gotten better in the health department, though. So yeah, I agree
but now you have to. But now you have to deal with James Harden taking all your minutes. Well, not the minutes. No, not the minutes. No, you have to deal with deal with James Harden taking all your shots and taking the pick and roll away, because there's no way in May and beyond he's doing the pick and roll, which is exactly why the Philadelphia 76ers will never win the championship until James Harden goes away.
Well, I'm not sure the Nets are either. I mean, what is Ben Simmons doing?
Nothing.
Oh, my neck,
just nothing.
My neck and my back. Oh.
Everything hurts on him, apparently.
Well,
the neck,
his
the
ego
back, his head.
first.
I mean, his ego. Yeah, everything is hurting on him.
And that's another
his
one.
ego.
For a guy,
I hate Ben Simmons for clowning mental illness, for using mental illness as a crutch with a situation he knows nothing about, hasn't gone through enough, and then you're gonna I got mental problems. Let me tell you something, Ben Simmons. I have mental issues, and I deal with them on a daily basis, and I will repeat this sentence all the time. And this is for athletes that actually go through mental illness. Ron Artest comes to mind. The first thing you feel when you go through mental illness is alone.
Yes.
The first thing you feel when you go through mental illness is alone. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt, burned a few of them up in the process. So Ben Simmons, don't even try to use mental illness as an excuse. You want a lesson in mental illness as far as an athlete goes? Talk to Ron Artest. Talk to Ron Artest.
And not only that, guys, Ben Simmons, after as many years he's been in the NBA, he still can't shoot.
And
he talked about all the time.
I don't understand that for the life of me, man.
Ben Simmons. Let me take it back. Let me take it back a little further.
I don't understand it either, man.
I know you guys are going to agree with my next statement, and it goes like this: Ben Simmons never had a jump shot.
No,
he never had one. He never had
Ben
one.
Simmons never
had
a jump shot.
No, he has a jump shot in practice games and in pickup games and in summer games. On the NBA court, that thing is as distant as you can ever see anything.
It's about as distant as I am from Houston, Texas.
Why do you think Doc Rivers wanted nothing to do with him anymore?
Doc knew better.
Yeah,
Doc knew better. He sent a veiled threat of a trade in the offseason.
It was literally right at the final game of their playoffs. He said that.
Yeah, I'll put you like this: Ben Simmons' jumper, when it comes to the NBA game, is as real as his mental health issues.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. It's about as real as the Easter Bunny.
Right.
And half of those are chocolate, and we eat them anyway.
Darn right, it's chocolate. Hey, the Easter Bunny's coming in a couple of weeks, guys. I hope chocolate's going to be coming in your baskets.
Appreciate that.
I hope so too. I'm probably
same to you, brother. Same to you.
Same to you. Jay Spivey joining us through with our Spivey Notes, courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts Coffee. Look up Dunkin' Donuts and get your day started. Jay, I love you, brother. Cole will have you next week. And when I come out of surgery, I'll be checking in every day next week from the hospital. But Jay, I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best. Thank you, guys. Have a good week.
You too,
Thank
Jay.
you.
Much love to you, brother.
Jay Spivey joining us as he does on Monday, and I'm so excited for you to take the chair next week because I know the show will be in good hands, my man. I'm gonna cry. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you giving me such the honor of being in your chair. I know you wouldn't do that to just anybody, so
No,
I totally appreciate
it's like I said, when I asked you to come on board as my co-host, I knew I made the right choice. It was the only choice. And I've had so many, I had so many people ask me to be my co-host. I had a woman ask me to be my co-host on this program. And I looked at her and I said, I don't think you can handle me. Yeah. She never contacted me again.
Wow.
The only woman I would put on this program is my wife. And she's not as big a sports nerd as you and I, but I know this program will be hilarious.
Oh.
I know the program would be fun.
Just with her VOs, I know the program would be hilarious.
Meta Stanford Artest would scare him. Hey, that's truth.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes,
talk to Ricky Williams. Talk to one of us.
Yeah, because
Cole may not have gone through Cole may not have gone personally through mental illness, but it's vicariously through me that he's learned.
Yeah.
And through some of the athletes, Ricky Williams being one, Ron Artest being another. Stop, Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Because do you think you can use mental illness as a crutch? I had someone actually tell me that in 2017 before I broke down. I had a hater tell me that. You can't use mental illness as a crutch. Yeah, I'll use the same crutch to put never mind.
Yeah.
I will not repeat the threat because there are a lot of George Carlin words in there.
Yeah, the toxic understanding of you're a man. You know, I don't know why you crying. I don't know why you in your feelings, man. Forget
Can
that.
I get this?
Yeah,
Can I get with?
Yeah, forget that. Bump that, man. No, step up a lip, dude. Crying, that's for wimps. That's for wimps and sissies and other things. No, man, no, don't do that. No.
Then I guess I'm a wimp because I have emotions.
I guess I am too because I let them fly when necessary.
Then I guess I'm a wimp because the tears flowed. If y'all saw the show last Friday, I got to talking about my wife, and I had 3 black men praying for me at the same time the tears were coming out. Let me say that again. I got to talking about my wife who literally saved my life. Literally saved my life. And the next thing I knew, I was in a pool full of tears, and I had 3 gentlemen who I love very dearly praying for me on the air, live. How many sports shows can say that?
That's what it's about, man.
How many sports shows can say that? A couple comments before we get out of here. Brandon Marshall would look at Ben Simmons and say, stop using that as a cop-out, as a color and a cop-out. Yep, better believe it.
Yes, sir.
Better believe it.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell him that to his face. I had a friend, Sean Stewart, who I'll have on the program after I'm home.
Good brother.
Sean Stewart. Yeah, I love Sean. I absolutely love Sean. And if you haven't checked out Sports for America, I suggest you do. He's got some great programming there. Sean Stewart said, would you tell Ben Simmons to his face to stop using mental illness as a cop-out? Better believe it. And I wouldn't bat an eye. I wouldn't bat an eye. Because right now, Ben Simmons looks like a dope and a moron. Thank you, Rich Eisen. I use Rich Eisen. What a dope. What a moron.
That's ridiculous.
And Rich Eisen used that after his Jets lost to Denver in 2020, and I have that clip. I'll say it about Ben Simmons again. What a dope. What a moron.
It's so sad, man.
It's horrible. It's horrible that he has to. Jeez. Okay. Better go before I snap.
All right.
And if I snap, especially on a subject that's very dear to me,
of course,
especially on a subject that I know quite well and been in the fight officially since 2017, but I would suspect since 2007 when my dad died.
Yeah.
I'll say it again, and I don't care who comes after me. That's a Ben Simmonsite. What a dope. What a moron. What an idiot. You use that as a crutch for your basketball problems? Man.
Saying you have mental health issues when you basically have no balls. That's basically what it is.
None.
And that is a shame and a half.
You got no balls. Okay? You got no balls, Ben Simmons. I apologize. You got no nuts. You got no gumption. We already knew you didn't have a jump shot. We saw that at LSU. We saw that at LSU after playing a handful of games, and yet people wanted to celebrate you. Oh, this is the next big thing. This is the next big dope.
Oh,
this is the next big moron.
Oh, worse.
Okay.
He was considered LeBron James 2.0.
That's, I partially say don't disrespect LeBron James, but B, it's right there. You can have all the talent in the world. Where are your basketball skills? Where are your teammate skills when they need them and you need them the most? Can I get a witness?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a witness? Huh?
Sure.
Where are they when you need them the most? Where are your skills, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Ben Simmons? Where are your skills in winning time? And nothing but crickets.
Yep.
And I love it. Tomorrow I got an email to send to the NCAA about women's basketball, and I guarantee you the first 20 minutes are going to be dedicated to that. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
then they are not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. 7 days to go, y'all. And then Cole will take the chair throughout next week while I'm in the hospital trying to sleep. And I mentioned the word trying. Because I've been in as a patient and as an expectant dad. You don't sleep in the hospital. I'll make all those jokes when I come home. All right, folks. On to your day. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out of here.